Hey, we're back today. We have another song for you today. This is probably one of the most well-known songs in the world. Most of my kids already knew this song before I taught it to them, but it's Sweet Caroline by Neil Diamond. And the chords are pretty standard. I'm going to put it up right here. We have a C, we have an F, we have a G7, we have an A minor. There are a couple of hard parts, and I want to go over those. But then we're going to put another. I'm going to put another video out where it's just a play along. Okay. I do have a little complicated things, and I'm going to save those towards the end. But first, let's just go through the chords. Okay. We do have our C. Okay, and then that moves to an F. We've done that a million times before. Okay, and then back to C. And then we have the G7, okay? I know I've told you this before, but the easiest way to go from C to G7 is to have that ring finger stay right on the fretboard, just slide it down. So all I'm doing is sliding down that G7, the C right here, and then when it slides down to that G7, okay? So it'll look like this. So what I would do is practice that, pause the video, practice that motion, okay? Because getting that C to G7 and back is so important, okay? So now let's try the next, then we go, it's the same thing, but we have, I would call it the pre-chorus, okay? And the important thing to remember with this is a lot of times kids want to rush it. Each chord is 8 beats. So it's just C, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. A minor, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. G7, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. F, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then G7. And here comes the hard part. G, F, G. We know that part, but it's a little bit hard to play. So again, pause the video, practice G7, F, G7. Watch my index finger. It doesn't move. So again, that is the whole key, keeping that index finger down. Okay, that is your anchor. Okay, and then we go into the chorus, and then F. Bum, bum, bum. Everybody knows that part, right? Bum, bum, bum. Right. So F, C, F, and then we go back on to Good Times Never Seem So. Then G7. Good. So good. So good. And then here we go again. G7, F, G7. So that happens twice in this song. So important that you practice that. G7, F, G7. But those are the parts that everybody knows, right? Everybody's going to sing along with that. Bum, 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 bum. So good, right? Those are the parts that people know. And then we go back to the next line, I've been inclined. Okay, starts on C, inclined. And then bum, bum, bum. There's that F, C, F again. To believe it never, and then G7, F, now I. So G7, F, E minor, F. Now E minor is kind of a new chord, but it makes a diagonal. Index on the 2nd fret, bottom string, then the middle finger on the 3rd, and then the ring finger on the 4th. A straight diagonal line. Okay, so that is a really important part too, because that's how we're going to end the song. Okay, so practice that phrase there, that would, but, F. Okay, so F, E minor, F, but I would practice it starting at the G7. G7, F, E minor, F. Okay, because we're going to end the song like that. Sweet Caroline, and we'll end with a C. Okay, so basically, these are all the chords you know, all the changes that you know, but you have to practice that F, C, F, because that goes fast and everybody knows it. And then, of course, the G7, F, G7. Okay? So that's the basics of the song. Now, the intro is kind of fun, but this is a little bit more advanced because you're playing individual notes. So I'm going to put it on the screen in tab, okay? But it basically will go like this, okay? And we've talked about tab before, but it's a map of your fretboard. And so when you see the tab, the lines and the numbers tell you what fret to press down. And when you have 0, of course, that's an open string. Okay? But I'm going to play it through. You see it on the screen right there. So this is the intro. Okay? Now, it's in groups, right? That first group is the 201, 201. And then it's the same pattern on the next phrase, okay? So what I would do is I would break it down into those parts. Just practice that first phrase. Over and over again. And then go up to the 130. And then next phrase. Now, again, this is advanced, so you could just start the song right on the C where it began, or if you practice this and you want to do it, you can do it. Okay, there are chords that go along with that too, but that would only work if you had 2 people playing. But it's a fun little intro that you guys can do, but it will take some practice. But I will meet you guys in the play along right next.